Hi, this is Dr. Robert Young, and I'm joined again with Ines, the beautiful Ines, the intelligent, effervescent Ines, definitely full of joy and happiness, and has everything to look forward to. And her life was changed dramatically over 16 years ago. And we just had a discussion for an hour and a half, and we wanted to have some sort of conclusion to some of the things we were talking about. And one of the things that came to my mind as the lights were going dim, okay, and not so much as it relates to our discussion, but in the recording of what we were going to say. But the thought that came to my mind is you can tell about a person, whether they're righteous or unrighteous, by their acts, by what they do. It's in not their words, but in their deeds that shows their true empathy, their true compassion, their desire to serve or to help others. And it's been said in the good book, you will know them by their fruit, by their fruits. Just like a healthy apple or a healthy orange or a healthy fruit. It is a manifestation, since we are talking about fruit and the roots of those fruits, it's a manifestation of the healthfulness, the healthiness of that particular tree to be able to bear forth fruit that is delicious to the taste. And when someone really cares about someone, the fruit they bear is the fruit of love, and not just love for self, but God's love, which is the love of all creatures, both human and animal, and that we do not have a right to decide who lives and who dies. But if we have knowledge, if we have the ability, to impart knowledge that will empower others to improve the quality and quantity of their life, I believe that is one of the fruits that demonstrates empathy, that demonstrates compassion, that demonstrates faith and hope. And the thing that literally is the motivating factor for the creation of all things, which is love, true love, not just empty words, I love you, but love that is shown by your works. By your works and your words, you shall know them. And that's what came to my mind as I was thinking about the work that we're engaged in, as I was thinking about your commitment, which is showing your compassion, your empathy, your desire to help the people that you love anywhere that they are, whether they're in Los Angeles or whether they're in Cairo, Egypt, and to be able to have compassion and then have a happy attitude about it as you're going through life, because I know things aren't perfect for any of us, and we all have trials and tribulations, but success is not measured by the accomplishment of a goal. It's measured by the obstacles we overcome, choosing to be better rather than to be bitter. I mean, I could focus on a lot of bitter things. I'm sure you've had
we all can.
Yeah,
We all can.
and it goes back to, oh, poor me,
Yeah.
And it's not about that. It's these bitter moments make us better. They make us stronger. They teach us
It's
lessons.
so true.
They are experiences
Very true.
that really mold us and shape us into God-like creatures, into becoming not
So
God,
true.
but becoming like God, and goddesses, gods and goddesses,
That's very
that are
true.
compassionate, that are empathetic, that have the pure love of God within them, and are demonstrating them by their works, not their words, by their works. And I think that's the way you tell the difference between bad actors and Luciferians and angels. So, I would say to you, Ines, you're an angel. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Yan. Well, thanks to you. I mean, you put me on the right path. I mean, before I met you, I was, completely, what should I say, completely lost. I was living a very unhealthy life, and I didn't know it. I thought I was doing pretty well until I got diagnosed with cancer, and that was my wake-up call. And looking back on it, I say, thank God I was diagnosed with cancer, because if it wasn't for that diagnosis, I never would have found you. I never would have made the necessary changes, and I never would have known this healthy life that I'm living today. So,
And I can't think of anything more gratifying, for me as a teacher, which is the true definition of a physician, is a teacher, to educate and empower someone, and to see them not only helping themselves, but then going out and where each one teaches one, like you have, to teach others and empowering them to live a better, more righteous life. And through that, I mean, because we are creatures that are designed for joy, to be happy. And there this bitter moment, this diagnosis that you received was a turning point, much like the Cheshire cat, who, when approaching a junction in the road, Alice in Wonderland, walking on the road, approaching this junction, and then seeing the Cheshire cat, and not wondering whether to go to the right or to the left, and asking the Cheshire cat, I don't know which way to go. Which way should I choose? And of course, the Cheshire cat said wisely, if you don't know where you want to go, any road will do. And for you, what I perceive is when you came to that bitter junction of choice, actually dealing with a consequence that was of your own authorship.
Yes.
You authored the breast cancer.
Of course.
And anybody that's listening to this, you offer and are the signator and the writer of the consequences of your life. And so when you come to that junction where you have a diagnosis of a specific dis-ease, not disease, because these are symptoms. There are no diseases. There's only specific symptomologies. And that's true with everything, with all sickness and disease. So when you came to that junction, which very few people, don't know which way to go. Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do conventional? Should I do alternative? Should I do a combination of the two? Should I eat this? Should I not eat that? Should I believe this, not believe that, et cetera, et cetera? When you come to that junction of life, if you don't know which direction you want to go, and you have to go inward, not outward. You had to go inward, and listen to your true essence, your true life force energy. You had to listen to that spirit body that is connected to the physicality, giving you experience of all the five senses, because you cannot experience those out of the flesh. But when you went there, this experience didn't make you bitter, it made you better, because you made a decision that this is the road I am going to choose. Yes. And as in the Indiana Jones movies, when he was in the cave with the protector of the Holy Grail, and he saw hundreds of Holy Grails, and he asked the protector of the Holy Grail which one should he choose after he exercised his faith. Remember, he came to the great ravine and there was no bridge, and yet he exercised his faith by throwing sand. Of course, then he walked across, and he walked across. He got to the cave. There was a man there guarding the grails. And I say grails because there were hundreds of grails. And he asked him, which grail should I choose? Just like the Cheshire, Alice in Wonderland, Cheshire cat said, which one should I choose? He said, all he could say is, choose wisely. Choose wisely. Okay. And what did he do? You know, well, while he was about to choose, the man that was chasing him, that wanted the Holy Grail for his own personal desire, for his own power and control, doesn't this sound like today? For his own greed, who lacked empathy, who lacked the compassion for others other than his own self, and and he came in and chose the most beautiful, the one with diamonds and rubies, and he drank of that, from that Holy Grail, and he literally died from that. He disintegrated, kind of like the witch in the Wizard of Oz, so that it disintegrated. He disintegrated, and that's how I remember it. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is he did not choose wisely. He did not choose out of compassion, out of empathy. He didn't go from within. He was thinking of nothing other than himself. And then, of course, Indiana Jones, he looked at all of them, and he chose the most humblest of all of the grails, not knowing what one it was, but he sensed it, he felt it. This would be the Holy Grail, the cup that I will drink of, and I will exercise my faith, and I will take that leap, and I will drink from it. And what was in that cup that as he drank gave him eternal life? You see, the pH miracle has that power. That knowledge is power. And the quality of your life, the quantity of your life can be extended, can be approved, regardless of what these bad actors and Luciferians are saying, regardless, of what those who have no empathy, no compassion, no concern about your life, but only of their own, that when these gifts are given to those who are ready to receive, their lives can be altered forever. They can change. And that's the experience that I want to impregnate on people's minds. That's the experience that when it does come time for you to pass on to the lives, to the spirit world or the life beyond, you have that. It will never be taken from you. And you have that knowledge, you have that experience. And that's why we're here. We're here to grow and learn. And I watched you do this over the last 16 years. I watched you choose the Holy Grail. I saw your humility. I saw your compassion. I saw your empathy. I saw the intelligence working and your desire to help your family, your friends back in Cairo, and to work with them. And those are the lessons I believe that we've come here to learn. Some learn it, you have, and some don't. So sad. So sad.
Well, it's really thanks to you, Dr. Young. I am where I am today because of you. You saved my life. You saved my life and you changed my life. You saved my life by showing me the right path. And you changed my life because once I experienced this amazing, healthy world, I had to tell everybody. I had to let everyone know what they're missing. And
at that particular moment, your eyes were opened, and you could not only see with your own eyes, you could hear with your own ears, and you knew within your own spirit, and in this particular physicality, your own soul,
yes.
you knew the truth, and the
Yes.
truth set you free.
Yes.
And thank you for being a beacon of hope. Thank you for being a beacon of light. Thank you for sharing that light rather than hiding it under a bushel, by caring enough and having enough compassion and empathy to be able to do that. you know, definitely uh, you have angels around you, and will continue to be protected as long as you continue to follow your soul, your spirit, and of course your heart. And I mean that when I talk about heart, I talk about your true essence, your soul, which you know, separated is known as spirit. But just wanted to thank you for taking this opportunity to share some time with me and to share your life experience and following this lifestyle, which is not a diet, it is a
Yes.
lifestyle. Uh,
Yes.
and if you're
Yes.
willing to make a
Yes.
change in your lifestyle, then you too can experience a pH miracle in your life. And,
Yes.
and and many years ago, somebody asked me, "What is the definition of pH miracle?" And I defined that as a natural phenomenon between the cause and effect relationship. As a scientist, that's how I defined it. But this is not understood in current medical science. They're just looking not at the cause; they're looking at the effect, and everything is focused around that.
Yes.
Not for saving the patient, but for what is called a Luciferian theory, the Cainite theory, uh, which is you can profit off the pain and misery of others. You can take which does not belong to you, and for doing nothing, sounds like Wall Street. For doing nothing, you you actually embellish your own uh, perceived wealth. But
Well, I think, Dr. Young, I really truly believe that most doctors really mean well and they want to help patients, but I think they lack the knowledge and the know-how of what is at the root cause of those diseases. Because I remember
Mhm.
asking the oncologist or asking the doctor, what did I do to cause the cancer, and what can I do so that I don't get it again? And he told me, we don't know. We really don't know. So, and he told me, he said, you can eat and drink anything you want. What you eat and what you drink has no impact on your health. So
Yeah. So
that's,
what did you think about that last statement?
I thought that
True or
was,
false?
I thought that it didn't make any sense. How could what I put in my body doesn't impact my health? This is,
Hmm.
I mean, this has direct impact on everything, on the quality of my sleep, to the energy, to how
Hmm.
my mood, to everything, to how I look, to everything. It impacted my life.
Yeah. When I hear that from a non-medical person or a medical person, you know what I say to them? I says, "Oh, so what you're saying to me is I can drink as much alcohol as I want, as often as I
I
want,
mean,
and that's not going to affect my liver.
or
It's
eat
not going to
junk
affect
food.
my
Yeah,
brain. It's
yeah.
surely, and it's not going to affect my blood." Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, yeah. And so I think it's just lack of understanding, and as you say, we need more education, not more medication. We're trained. I have this symptom, I take that medication. I have a headache, I take an aspirin. I have high blood pressure, I take a pressure medication. I have um, you know. Rheumatoid, I take anti-inflammatory. So we're always dealing with the cause. We're not solving the problem. So
Hmm.
um, it's until we get to the root cause of what's causing this manifestation that we really truly experience health. But
Hmm.
everything else is just we're numbing ourselves or numbing the symptoms.
Hmm. Well, those are wise words. Uh, if you want to improve your outer appearance, you have to improve your inner appearance. And when you do that, you literally awaken from the sleep that you induced upon your true essence, which is your spirit. And once
Yes.
that is awakened and then connected, fully alert and awake, it's amazing the thoughts that you have. It's amazing what can be accomplished. It's amazing what joy that you can not only receive, but also the joy and the love that you can give. So behind me, I put some of my favorite vegetables that I eat on a daily basis for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And one of my favorite, of course,
Yum.
is avocado. Avocado, what I call God's butter. Cucumber. I have broccoli there. I have Brussels
Asparagus.
asparagus, radish.
Mm,
I mean, peppers. This is the food that leafy greens. This is the food that I eat every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And
it's
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. And so some of it may be steamed, some of it may be made into a soup, some of it may be part of a salad, some of it may be blended into a shake. It just takes different forms, has different textures. Some is salty, some is just the natural, you know, natural, I say sweetness or saltiness from that particular food. But
Yeah.
I never get tired of it, and I never feel hungry, and I can eat as much as I want, as often as I want, and I have a
Yes.
huge appetite. So it's so
We
I
all love food. We all love to eat.
well, yeah, we definitely connected to it when we were born, and
Yes.
it's necessary for building new blood and new body cells. What we eat does matter. What I
Yes.
drink and eat does affect the blood, does affect the
Yes.
internal environment, does affect the pH, because anything that's affecting the pH of the blood gets pushed out to the interstitial fluids, and that's not being measured. So out of sight, out of mind. If you're measuring 100% of the body fluids, then you can come to a conclusion, which is scientific, that you can say food doesn't affect the pH of the body fluids. But if you're
Yeah.
just testing 10% of the body fluids, which is a vascular state, and saying, oh, the pH doesn't change,
Right.
that is totally
Right.
fallacious.
Right.
The
Right.
pH of the blood does change
Yes.
at the result of, you know, eliminating any acidic waste into the interstitium, which causes cellular breakdown and cellular degeneration. And then you get to some of the pictures that I showed in our first part. Since this is part two of of uh, uh, of our discussion here. Well, Ines, I want to thank you. Do you have any last things you want to share or thoughts that empowering thoughts that would help others?
Well, I would tell anyone that is dealing with a cancerous condition or any kind of health condition that the solution is simpler than you think. That the body is amazing and has the ability to heal and recover from any disease that we cause by changing what we eat and what we drink, and that and even people who are not maybe diagnosed with a disease but are going through life suffering of low energy and
Hmm.
just struggling to get through the day because of all the acidic foods that they eat they owe it to themselves
Hmm.
to try. They owe it to themselves, they owe it to their loved ones, the people that they know, to make the change and see the result. And if they don't like it, they can always go back to the acidic foods. It will be waiting for them. It's not going to go away. But if they try it and they feel amazing and they feel alive and well and happy and energetic, I don't think many people will go back to the old ways,
Hmm.
the ways of causing disease and sickness in our life.
Well, very well said. In the words of Gandhi, you must be the change you want
Yes,
to see. And in the words of Albert
exactly.
Einstein, where he said, if you cannot explain it simply, then you do not understand what you're talking about. And today, you have simply explained a protocol, a lifestyle, the
Mm.
pH miracle lifestyle that we call an alkalarian lifestyle. Very simply, you are a radiating example of it. Thank you again for being an example of the lifestyle that's emulated by living this alkalarian lifestyle. So
Thank you, Dr. Young. Thank
all
you for thank you for what you do. Thank you for the impact you've had on my life and on humanity. Um, Thank you.
well, you are welcome. God bless you.
You too.
And look forward to talking to you, more often, and we'll keep in touch. Okay.
Yes.
All the best to you,
You
and
too.
all right, and of
Thank
course
you.
to your family.
Thank you. You
All right,
too, and
all
all
right,
your family.
all right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.